we only have one topic left in the show, and Alfred is running it this week. Who would you rather build around with one player specialized as the addition of the series? So, Alfred, let's get started.
All right. So this week I only have four guys. And
Yep, is one player who's the specialized edition, right? So it's that player versus right. Yeah.
Okay, so my one guy is Paolo Banchero. Hopefully I said his name properly.
Ooh,
Probably said it better than I did.
Yeah.
So then I want to start out and I want to ask you guys, would you rather between him, Paolo Banchero, or Jalen Green down in Houston?
Paolo.
you go first, James.
Easy for me. Paolo, I think he's better right now and younger. That's first of all. Second of all, I think he has superior playmaking upside. I love his size. I think his frame is more NBA ready at the same stage, his finishing around the basket. I think he has more defensive upside as well because Paolo is already a decent interior defender. And, what he's doing as a rookie, guys, is it's Zion-ish, it's Luka-ish, it's LeBron-ish. I'm going to throw it out there. It's just he's having one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen. And obviously he had the worst game of his career yesterday against LeBron, which probably stinks for him because he loves LeBron. But he's a fantastic talent. And Jalen Green is awesome, but he's just a step under.
Yeah, I'm taking Banchero as well. Banchero is going to be the rookie of the year. It's going to be between him and Mathurin, but I don't think it'll be very close when the voting happens. I mean, he's already a 21 per game scorer. And we haven't even seen, like a lot of players, like the last, few top draft picks have had massive second halves of the season. We saw it with Cunningham last year. We saw it with Green big time last year. We saw it with Edwards the year before that. What's going to be in case here for the second half of the year for Banchero? I think he's going to be a phenomenal paint scorer for the vast majority of his career. He's a really big dude. I love his frame. I love his, playmaking, facilitating upside already as like a 6'10", 6'11" massive player. He's averaging almost 4 dimes a game. I think he's got a lot more upside as a passer than Green. I think he also has more upside as a defender. Overall, I think it's got to be Banchero right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm definitely going Banchero as well. The size, he's more versatile. I'm definitely going Banchero. It's pretty easily too. Pretty easily on that one. Hopefully these other three aren't as easy. Let's go. Would you rather between Paolo Banchero or Cade Cunningham?
Paolo again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even thinking about it. I like Cade. Like I said, Paolo is younger and better. It's really that simple. He's younger, he's better, he's bigger, he's stronger. I think Cade is more upside as a defender because I think he has more perimeter defensive upside. But I really think that's as far as it goes. I really do. Paolo, he's an elite rim pressure already. He's more shifty off the dribble. Their jump shots are pretty close. I'll give Cade the edge, but I don't think it's significant. Neither are great 3-point shooters. Cade's a slightly better mid-range shooter. Paolo's the way better finisher. And I just think he can force his will physically, offensively more than Cade can. Cade just doesn't have an elite offensive skill to me. I think the closest to that to me is his mid-range shooting. But outside of that, I don't think he does anything elite offensively. He's not a great space creator. I give Cade the benefit or the edge for sure on perimeter defense and mid-range shooting, but I think that's as far as it goes right now. So Paolo.
Yeah, I'm also taking Banchero. Even if this is, kind of close for some people, I think Cunningham already missing basically, obviously super unfortunate that he has to miss the entire year with an injury. He's missing the entire year of development. Having not a career ending, but a season ending injury at this young, it definitely will hurt his development. I think he's already, a mile ahead of where Cade Cunningham was at this stage of his rookie season last year. Cade even missed time last year at the start of the year with injuries.
And Summer League.
Yeah. Like this is like the third time now where he's had, some sort of a significant injury. And I haven't really seen that from Banchero. And I just think he's more advanced already at the young age than what Cunningham was last year. I'm taking Banchero as well.
Yeah, I would take Banchero as well. I love Cunningham's game and his ceiling. I feel like his ceiling could put him maybe like just one step below Paolo. So yeah, I definitely think I'm definitely taking Banchero, but I'm a big fan of Cade as well. I think his ceiling is high, and hopefully the injury won't affect him too much going forward in the future.
Yeah, he's a winning player, man. Cade is just a winning player because he gives one thing I'll give Cade that not many young players have. He cares about the little things more than almost any young player in the league,
Yeah,
like on
that's
both
winning
sides of the
basketball.
floor. And I think that goes a long way for his development as a leader. So Cade's awesome.
for
Okay.
sure.
So my next one is: would you rather between Banchero or Jordan Poole?
Oh,
Paolo,
yeah, I'm definitely taking Paolo.
yeah, not
Oh,
close for me.
okay, man. Paulo is a prodigy here. All right.
He's him.
So why?
Well, I don't know how much, more Poole will develop over time. I don't believe in his upside defensively at all. I think he's a really good player still. Um, I get so annoyed when he talks about himself like he's Curry sometimes. I don't know if you guys realize that when he's talking post game, he thinks he's Curry sometimes. Yeah, he's definitely somebody who, he's probably gonna make the All-Star game at some point in his career. I just don't think he has near the upside as Banchero does. I don't think he's going to become, a super high-end playmaker at any point of his career. I think he's just one of those, really high-end scoring, non-defensive, type player prototypes. He's a one-way player to me, and I think Banchero definitely has more of an upside as a two-way player.
Yeah, they're not in the same stratosphere as young talents. Jordan Poole comes in, like credit to his development, but Paolo's coming in as one of the best rookies in the last decade. And, he Paolo, people who just look the part, like Jordan Poole doesn't look the part, but Paolo does. And Paolo is able to force his will physically in ways that Poole can't. He's a better playmaker. He's got more defensive upside. He just has way more upside as an overall franchise engine than Jordan Poole does, in my opinion. Like Jordan Poole could put up great numbers whenever he wants when he gets the touches, but I just don't see that translating to franchise altering momentum the way Paolo can eventually.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a great scorer. He's a great shot maker, but ultimately, like you said, he's not the transcendent star that can transform your franchise.
Come on,
So,
Alfred, give us a big one. Give us a big one.
okay, last one here. I'm very interested to see how you take this one because I think you guys shouldn't do it so easily. I think, but let's see. So we have: would you rather Banquero or Zion Williamson?
Oh, I
That's a
like
good.
that.
That's a good one. Should I start first?
Yeah, you go.
I'll go Paolo. And it isn't. I think peak Zion Williamson. I think peak Zion Williamson's higher than peak Paolo Banchero, but I think Paolo gives a higher end floor one in the playoffs because of his 3-level shot making upside, but also, just the durability element. I still worry about Zion physically a little bit, but this is a close one, man. I think talent level, I think Zion's a little more talented, but I love Paolo's skill set and I think he's a higher floor player. So I'll go Paolo.
All right, I'm happy we're disagreeing here, and it's like I could go either way, but I'm a big Zion fan. I actually really like both those guys.
I
Um,
got both of their
but
jerseys.
yeah, I have a Zion jersey. I'm trying to get a Paul one soon, but I would take Zion here. Like you said, I like you agree here too. I think his ceiling is higher as a player. Um, and I do have concerns obviously when it comes to the injuries, but we're looking at these two players overall, I would like to bet on the guy with more upside as a player. I mean, he was by far more efficient already than Boncaro in his rookie year. I mean, Zion had a 59 EFG in his rookie year, which is nuts. I think he's going to be more efficient for a long time. Um, he's already been a solid playmaker. I don't think he has much deficiencies there. Um, and I think they both have similar upside as defender.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going Zion if we're talking today. If we're talking this season, I'm going Zion. If we're talking future, I think I'm gonna go Paolo for some of the same reasons. That I love the 3-level scoring. I love I still question the durability of Zion. Um, and I just think long term, if Paolo, if everything goes the way it should go, Paolo would be the much more consistent option throughout his career than Zion would be. So that's why I would say long term it would be Banchero, but if we're talking right now this season, I'd probably take Zion.
If you are telling me, by the way, I'm so sorry I ran off of you during your talk, Zach. I had
Need to
to.
go grab his Banchero jersey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sir. Look at this. I understand it's inverted, but look at that. Uh-huh.
If
So
you're listening on Spotify,
I
you're
look
gonna
even
have to
more
go to the
pale with
YouTube.
the Paolo
Yeah.
jersey. I look even more pale with the Paolo jersey than I do a Steph jersey. So I should probably change the jersey pretty soon. But I love Paolo.
Yeah, if you're listening on Spotify or something, you're gonna have to go to the YouTube to check this out. I mean, this is must see, it's not TV, but must see, content. James got the Paolo jersey on.
Now I just look like snow. Like I am Frosty the Snowman. Why does this jersey make me look so pale? Is it just because it's like dark black? So it's just like opposite.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
bad. But yeah, we're good. I love Follow. All right.
Same.
So Alfred, you got to throw two more in there. Throw some more. Zion was a really good one.
Okay, let me think. Off the top of my head, I felt like LaMelo would be too easy. Because we all think very highly. We all think very, very highly of Banchero. So
You should throw in maybe somebody from like Memphis or like Minnesota or Boston.
I'm gonna say let's throw in Ja because I wanted to put him in there. I wanted to put Ja. That was one of the first people I thought of. So let's go. Who's gonna go first?
Yeah.
I'll go. I mean, I'll take Ja. I think again, another guy that I do have some injury concerns about. He hasn't played more than 67 games in a season yet in his career. But he's already showing just like these shades of being a championship #1 option. He's doing it again this year. Memphis is they're not a championship favorite, but they're going to be a team that's definitely competing for a championship when the end of the year comes. He's still really young. He's only 23 years old, but he's figured out a lot of his game. I think over time he'll continue to evolve as well. Whether that's moving a little bit off the athleticism, becoming more of a shooter. But like obviously, I think he's got some clear issues defensively, but I just think with the offense, with his playmaking, with his slashing ability, with his scoring in general, I would take Morant.
Paolo till I die. I'm going Paolo. And look, Ja is awesome. I'm not the biggest Ja fan, but he's an awesome player. I just stick with Ja Morant. There's three things. This many. There's three things. One, not a good defender ever. I don't think he'll ever be a good defender. I just think he is. I think his offensive game takes too much of a physical burden, and I think he's small weight-wise. I think that's a bad recipe defensively. Number two, I don't think he's ever going to be a good shooter off the dribble. He just doesn't have a knack. He has that little push shot thing he does. He's best as a shooter when he gets a gather step, like when he's like in momentum and transition and pulls up. Like he's pretty good at that, but he's not a dynamic shooter off the dribble and he's not a great shooter off the catch. I don't think with his form, he'll ever be great at those things. And number three, if you're asking me, okay, give me the 6'2", 6'3", 170-pound guard or the 6'10", 250-pound monster who can handle it, who can also play make and has some defensive upside and is just somebody who looks like he can take 82 games a year in and year out because of his strength and frame. It's no question to be Paolo Banchero. Ja hasn't played a single season over 67 games yet. And he, as unfortunate as it is, he drives so out of control around the basket. Like I always cringe when he drives, man. You know what I mean? I always get a little nervous. I still worry about that a little bit with Ja, because he's so electric. You hope he stays healthy, but like Paolo, the way he moves, his physical profile, I just trust that a little more, and more upside as a shot maker and defender. I just think he has a higher upside. Period. I'll make a comment about Paolo that'll make people mad at the end, but it's Paolo.
One more. This one should be
What about
fun.
you? What about you? What about you? Tiebreaker.
I agree with what you were saying as far as the toll his play style takes and the energy. I think I lean toward Ja though. I lean toward Ja right now, honestly, because it's the safe thing to say. It's the safe thing to say, honestly, because I mean, I feel like Paolo's ceiling's higher, but we've kind of already seen Ja do a lot already. So I feel like it's a matter of time. I say Ja now,
though,
but it's a matter of time
Ja.
with Banchero.
Paolo is as good, if not better, than Ja was as a rookie, and he's a rookie basically over a year younger. Because Ja spent 2 years in college.
Did you wait? I'm just like mindlessly looking at Basketball Reference. Did you know that Ja's first name is Demetrius?
I had no idea.
Demetrius.
Morant.
His full name is Demetrius Jamel Morant.
Okay, I'm gonna start yelling at the TV when I get mad at him. Demetrius. I'll do that like at the
Oh, man.
playoffs if we face him again someday.
Yeah, that was a good one though. I think, I think it's closer than a lot of people would think. Like a cat, like just a normal NBA fan would think. Like obviously the normal NBA fan would be like, oh yeah, Ja. But when you think about things in depth, Morant does struggle with, staying healthy. I think Paulo's game will probably age better as well. I mean, I'm still taking Morant. I'm kind of like trying to prove myself wrong at the same time here. But I think it's hard to go against the guy who's, already made an all NBA team compared to a guy who's played like 30 games.
Right.
But I can understand why people would take Banchero.
I'm a believer.
He's a believer. He's got the jersey on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Alfred, cook with another one.
Okay, so Banchero or Anthony Edwards?
Edwards.
Paolo.
No. You're not doing this, James.
It's Paolo.
Oh God, no.
It's Paolo.
Okay.
Why you do that to me? I think Ant has the higher ceiling. I think the best version of Ant's a better version than Paolo. But I think Paolo has a higher offensive ceiling, and I think he's going to buy in. Like, Ant's already a good defender, and I think he can be a great defender. I think Paolo has an even higher offensive ceiling because of his size advantage, because of his playmaking advantage, even though Edwards is taking a leap as a playmaker. And I think Paolo is going to be a decent enough defender. And I just, you know what I mean? The 6'10" guy who can really play make, pressure the rim, score from all three levels, man. He's special, man. That's a hard
I don't know
one.
though.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
That hurt. That hurt me.
But I mean, like, Ant's physically bigger than like everybody that he matches up against already. I mean,
Yeah, he's a freak.
like he's already. I mean, he was like almost 240 pounds coming to the season. That's not what he usually is.
That was
he
like
weighs
11% body fat, though. That's not good.
Yeah.
Too fun.
Like he weighs similar, like close to Banchero. He's obviously a lot shorter. He's like half foot shorter. But I just think, he's already a top 3, top 4 athlete in the NBA. I think right now they're pretty close as playmakers. I think Banchero at some point will separate himself, but I don't think it's be that big of a separation. I think Edwards will always be the better shooter. He'll always be the better shot creator. I believe in his defense a lot more too. I still have a lot of questions when it comes to like off ball stuff and gets disengaged, which is I don't understand how he continues to get disengaged defensively, but he's a brick wall a lot of times on ball, and especially that guard position. He's a faster player as well. I'd like to build around a guard more than a forward in today's NBA, especially.
By the way, I would take Edwards over Ja too. So
yeah, I would too.
I would too.
So that hurt my heart, but yeah, I would follow ever so slightly.
I would go Edwards here. I like his explosiveness more. And definitely the shooting ability. I think overall, I think at the end of the day, I think his ceiling is higher. I think Anthony Edwards' his ceiling is a little bit higher than Banchero's is.
That's fair. You know, I think
Agreed.
Paolo's athleticism gets a little bit of a bad rep. I think he is a very athletic player, and he's got elite
Agreed.
feet, strong, he's boxy, you know, and you know, I'm not making this comp, but the way he like pressures the rim sometimes looks like a young Cavs LeBron. Like he's not LeBron, but like it looks kind of like that
Mhm.
sometimes. So yeah, that's really hard. You know, it's really close. What Paulo's doing right now, man, I think is playmaking upside. I think he can legit average 7 to 8 assists a game. I really do. So I can see him putting up like 28, 10, and 8. I'm serious. While giving good defense. He's already an above average interior defender. He's way better than Edwards was as a rookie too. So like, yeah, it's hard. I just those guys are neck and neck.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I think
Any more, Alfred? Or are we done with that?
No, I think we're done with that.
All right. What do you say, Zach?
I mean, I think part of the reason why Banchero like just looks a lot better right now is because Ant reclassified and he was a year ahead of what he should have been.
True. Good
Um,
point.
but yeah, but no doubt, Banchero. I mean, he looks miles ahead of what Ant was in the first half of his rookie year. Ant was
True.
not like even close to the second half of his rookie season. They're like two completely different players. Like I think Ant was averaging like 14 a game on really poor efficiency in the first half of his rookie season, and that was also with Ryan Saunders, being the
Yep.
worst coach in the NBA at the time. But yeah, I think I would take Edwards still. But yeah, that was
They're right
a
there
good
next to
segment.
each other.
Yeah.
Plus, you also he had to play basketball a month after he got drafted.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, those guys are close, man. But I was gonna say, man, I think if you're talking, I think Paulo's going to push himself into the Luka and Tatum tier.
Possible.
I think
I mean,
Edwards can too, by the way. I really do.
Yeah.
Edwards is better than Tatum was at the same stage throughout his career. Like year 2 Edwards is better than year 2 Tatum. And at this part of year 3 is better than year 3 Tatum. I think Edwards could be every bit as good as Tatum, if not better. But like all of these guys are so freaking good. Those are my 4 favorite young players to build around. Luka, Tatum, and then right behind, a little less proven, Ant and Paolo.
I agree with that.
Love that list.